Oh, shit. How long was I out?
Nobody needs to get hurt.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
You're coming back to Citadel. And do you have more stories with this particular timeline and this place? Or this was like the finished touch and saying goodbye to it?
I'd say we're still very much doing arcs. Season 8's got a lighter one than season 7. Season 7 was super intense, so I think we intentionally wanted to give everyone a little bit of a breather. But we haven't stopped wanting to do that. For me, my favorite version of Rick and Morty is one that's just kind of like freewheeling, crazy. It's got ones that are like break your brain, but then some ones that still remind you that they haven't forgotten about some of the things that fans also find important, which are like some of the bigger canonical things. So I think if we can touch on all those in a season, which season 8 does, season 9 does, season 10 does, we're doing our jobs.
Yeah, and the Citadel, I think that's, I mean, it's like you blow it up, it should stay blown up. You don't want to just rebuild it and say, oh, it's back. So I think you're referencing a story we did with the sort of the pieces of it having been blown up. And if there is a story to be told about the pieces of the pieces or somebody trying to rebuild it again, then we'll figure that out, but we don't have it on a blackboard where, we've got this big thing up our sleeve. I think it'll happen organically.
Listen, George Lucas rebuilt the Death Star only to blow it again, so everything is on the table.
Yeah.
And also, I'm curious, because when we were talking, I think 2 or 3 years ago, you guys were far ahead of what we have seen. So I'm curious, how far are you right now with the works?
We're all the way through writing at least the first round of scripts on 10. So we're through the 10 season run, and it's cool. I think people will be really blown away with kind of like what the whole 10 seasons look like when the whole thing wraps up. We're on deck. We're right on the cusp of starting to write season 11. So we've got a good lead on 8 right now, which is pretty mind-blowing.
But looking on those old franchises of animated series like Simpsons, South Park, I'm curious, aren't you a little bit curious? Are you able to do a feature movie with those characters, with a story like that?
Let me just talk to the lawyers.
Yeah, no, we're very we'd be very willing to do that, and we just have to find like a studio out there with enough money and enough daring. We'll see. Are we owned by anybody?
You're asking me? I don't know.
No, I was asking the lawyers.
We have teams of lawyers right off camera.
We should go talk to them. We're going to go to the Animaniacs water tower office and knock on the door and see if those guys want to make a movie. I would be very into that. I mean, that would be a dream come true. I don't think it would kill the show. I think you could like really roll the dice and try to make a really good movie. And your lips to God's ears.
Yeah, the interest is certainly there.
And also from all the 8 seasons that we had, I'm curious, I know it's like asking to pick the favorite child, but which character that you guys created is your favorite one, that you're as happy that you created it, that how it was voiced, and how it sticks to the whole like of the characters?
I guess I mean, if we're talking about among the core, I think the character of Summer it was just such an amazing surprise, because I remember she wasn't designed to blossom as much as she did, but I'm proud of the fact that we also didn't over design her, because we knew if she was going to blossom it would be organic, because 2 dude writers like sitting down to write this Adult Swim pilot, we were like, let's just not define her yet. And then Spencer Grammer doing the voice, it's like it was one of those beautiful things where it's like, oh, this is how TV is supposed to work. The actor comes in, the writers hear the character, the writers now start doing this dance, and Summer kind of took on a life of her own that wasn't as overwrought as anybody else. But yeah, I mean, that's not. I like all the other characters too.
Yeah, there's bits and pieces that I liked all of them. I mean, it's hard for anybody to compete with Rick for me just because he's such a chaos agent. I haven't had a character in my career that is just so capable of literally doing anything in any given scene, which is so fun, you know? But everyone's really fun. I mean, Jerry, it's fun to find good Jerry episodes because he's such a sort of doofus. He can't get into the same sort of episode that a Rick can get into, you know, because he's like on the complete opposite side of the spectrum in terms of brains and know-how and ingenuity. So it's fun really kind of getting him into jams. It's fun with Beth and Space Beth. I feel like when we created Space Beth, that added such a component to Beth that made that character super interesting. Season 8 taps a lot of stuff with the two of them, which I think people are going to find really cool. Yeah.
I love how you guys shift the frontier every time that you're doing something. I remember I was laughing so hard when my children brought me for Space Jam 2, and we saw Rick and Morty over there. And the joke about David Zaslav in this season is also hilarious. And I'm curious, is it something organic that jumps to you guys, or you're planning it?
Planning, I mean, is that do you mean specifically something organic to
make a joke out of the company that you're working for?
I see. I was that organic. I think it was. I think the process was that concept from the episode you're referring. Are you referring to the specific one where
we definitely crack a joke about him in Easter?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I guess is it ever organic to, you know, what kind of make fun of the people that pay you? I guess it could be compulsive. Like we're all self-destructive. I don't know how to answer that. Yeah. It's as organic as any personality disorder.
A very funny parallel because John Oliver is doing similar thing on his show, so I can see that there is this green light from above saying, like, guys, if you know what you're doing and if you're doing it with taste, crack on it.
Yeah, it's fun to poke the bear. I know we were excited. Like the joke in Easter, I think was just sort of off the cuff and in the moment, but I know we were excited when we did that Observer episode that like they were bringing in the body bags of the Rick and Morty from the Space Jam movies who like begged for death. That was just one that one had made us laugh for a while, so we're like, well, that one we should at least see it animated. So that was one that was probably a little bit more premeditated.
Yeah, and I as far as like parents, they're cool about it, and I think they've got a lot. I think they've always understood that. I think you don't see a lot of like hyper vigilance and overcorrection, and with this very old studio, they're still. You know, they're competing with Marvel, for instance, didn't just make them try to like, you know, become Marvel in every way. And like, so they're very confident, like transnational media conglomerates. and I think they don't mind being called that. Like, and they're like, oh, okay, we get it. That's part of a successful thing. So I guess that's me saying I love our parents because they're pretty chill about us, you know, making fun of them over breakfast.